Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. This is your reading for August 18th, 2023. Friday. It's Friday. And you can see we have the moon right here, sandwiched in between Mercury and Mars. Boy, I think it's a worky day. Probably trying to, get things finished. Definitely, especially with that grand Earth trine you can see going on here from Jupiter, Uranus, my goodness, all tied up to Pluto. So very powerful connections in your work and your ability to earn money, or with Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, just hang out and be blissfully alive. I love that. How about that? To all my retired friends out there who don't have to, they already worked 60 years or more, hitting the grindstone, tending to all that. So we still have a little bit of an approaching, well, we don't still have, this is the beginning of an approaching opposition from, you can see the sun here in this opposition to Saturn. And every day that goes forward, it'll be more of an opposition. So it's a building confrontation right now, confrontation between your creative self-expression and your need to build a strong, solid foundation. So we're figuring out what works and what doesn't. But there are so many good aspects to support our creativity and or, like I said, just hanging out and being very happy with your life. So let's see what the cards have to say. Okay. So I have the Eight of Wands reversed, the Emperor straight up, and the Queen of Wands reversed. Boy, this is a lot of fire, whether it's hitting the ground or not. Well, the short message I can see here is that no matter what, if you can sit in your authority, if you can be in your leadership, if you can just be okay with, being very stable, and, well, as long as you're dependable, because, this is like the dad of the tarot, right? The Empress is the mom, and he's the dad. So if you can be in your dependability, even though some projects are not hitting the ground yet, or maybe you're not sure if you want them to, be in a part of your paradigm here, because, this is a 4 card, so we're talking, 4 walls, the strong foundation. We're not wanting to be rigid about it, but we are wanting stability, right? Things that you can count on in your life. So if you're feeling a little off balance or out of, that stable place, that would be something to explore. Like what makes you feel safe. We all want safety and security. I want to know that when I stand up, my legs will work, things like that, right? So we don't want to have any lack of security, right? But with both of these cards here, I'm wondering about that. Now, on another level, this could have to do with travel. Some travel plans that were planned for the weekend are not going to come through, and it's left you going, uh-oh, okay, now what? You got to figure this out to get to that stable place. But on some other levels, the Queen of Wands here, when she comes through reversed, that I'm wondering if there's just somebody in your life that's a little demanding or a little too aggressive, because we have with the Emperor here, we're wanting that solid place where, come on, we made those plans or had this all figured out. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with plans with other people, and it's just you and your stable foundation. And then maybe now that you're safe and very stable, you can go into some old childhood wounding that had to do with a mom or a caretaker who wasn't there for you the way you needed, because maybe they were like drama queens, or maybe they were too aggressive and putting way too many demands on you when you were a kid, and it left you feeling unstable. With this Eight of Wands reversed, I feel like this can be very frustrating. Now, this could also play out if this was the dad who was stable, but dad wasn't home, and you were left with taking care of taking care of the family and a very demanding mom, and that left you feeling, my goodness, how do you get out from under all that frustration? How do you keep your sense of security if you're constantly, losing your footing? If you can't come from your own authority and you don't have any role modeling around what real authority is. That's what I'm wondering here. This message is for someone out there. For many of you, it could just be a lesson in what the cards mean. Because when we have this Eight of Wands reversed, we're definitely in some bit of like losing the creativity or the momentum you have going in your life. We're losing that because it's not hitting the ground. Things are still up in the air. So maybe someone out there grew up in a home where you were walking on eggshells, and you were the one trying to be the dad, the healthy mom or dad. And there was a lot of drama. This could be a sister too, or an aunt. Could be just any drama queen. So yeah, my goodness. Now, that's the thing is, when we have childhood wounding like that, we do have, these unmet real needs. They've gone unmet because these real needs are to be loved and to have safety and comfort and to be seen and heard and understood. If we have a really healthy mom, she's like, oh, look at you. What are you doing? Oh, look at that. Things like that. Encouragement happens. And then from there, we have our creative projects, landing in a place where we are safe and understood, right? Just think of the baby cries and the mom comes. Well, what if a baby cries and mom never comes? What you can imagine. You grow up giving up. You grow up feeling like you just might as well hide. You grow up feeling like no one's there. You don't learn to reach out. You don't learn to ask for what you want. You don't learn to receive. And then, because we have to survive, we attach to these kinds of energies. And because we've, with that symbiotic relationship with our mother or any caretaker, we have to attach to something. So if they're in negativity and drama or rigidity or whatever it is, then we're going to have to work through that as we are, healing on our healing path as adults. So the cool thing is that no matter what we went through, it's helpful to remember that we made it. We're here as adults. And we can always meet the pain and process it through. And once you understand the real needs to be loved, to love, to have safety and comfort and connection, and to be seen and heard and understood, as long as you know those real needs, you're like 90% there. That's the thing. Most people just forget that, oh yeah, that's a real need, and honor it. So yeah, okay, I hope this was helpful for someone out there. I would say just keep on working. The last thing I'll say is just keep on working to bring through who you are. Try to keep bringing you completely through with all your unique gifts. And that'll turn everything around. Little by little, day by day, breath by breath, step by step. Okay, take good care, you guys. Bye.